My heart is in.
All right, what's up, YouTube? We back. We back talking about Mayweather and the TBE thing and Muhammad Ali and Ray Robinson, whoever you want to compare him to. We back talking about it again. Floyd Mayweather has come out again. I think we had this talk before on YTBC. We had a discussion, and I remember everyone making videos, including myself, about this same discussion here, comparing Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather. Of course, Floyd's biggest fight is 1 week away. Okay, but I think he's already proven himself. I think he needs this fight, but I think he's proven himself on his greatness. I think it's debatable on how good he really is comparing himself to the great fighters in other eras. I think he's proven that he should at least be mentioned. If you would like, go check out Boxing Beats and Rhymes channel. He actually made a great video discussing this. I mean, he made an incredible video. One of the best videos I've heard from him. Now, as far as this topic, yesterday was a conference call with Mayweather, and he actually elaborated on it a little bit more about Muhammad Ali and his comparison. And he was like, I just think I'm the best, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with a fighter that is arguably the best in his era to think that he is better than another fighter from another era. Okay. He made some good points. He was like, when Ali was going around saying he was the greatest, I'm sure there was people saying that he was foolish for saying that, and he was crazy for saying that, and it goes on and on. It's just how it is. When people put you on a standard that high, you're going to get backlash. And you put yourself on a standard that high, you're going to get backlash. A lot of people don't want Floyd to win next week because they don't like his mouth. I hear it all the time. Oh, I want him to lose. I hope he gets knocked out. He talks too much. That's why people don't like him, because of his mouth. Not really because of what he does in the ring. He's a magician when it comes to what he does in the ring. We don't need to sit here. It's no debate that he's a great fighter. One of the most gifted fighters I've seen ever. Okay, I've always said, like, my opinion, I always thought that, when we talking about Floyd comparison to fighters from different eras, I always thought Hearns would have been his toughest fight. I don't know if he would have beat Hearns. I just keep it 100. When it comes to Sugar Ray Leonard, I think he could beat Ray Leonard. I think he could beat Durant. Hagler, I don't know, because Hagler, I don't know about Hagler based on size. Hagler's so durable, and he's a good boxer as well. But as far as Hearns, I don't know about it for Hearns. I don't know if Floyd could beat Hearns. That's the one guy that I don't know if Floyd could beat him. But back on topic. As far as Muhammad Ali, Floyd it's nothing wrong with him thinking he's the best fighter. The problem is you don't have to discredit Ali while trying to prove that point. You don't need to talk about how he lost to a guy with 7 fights. And the other comments he's said before, and it's like he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to talk about what kind of lifestyle he lives compared to Ali to prove or to back up that statement. He doesn't need to do that. I don't know why he does it. He does it, and it bothers people. Whatever. When it comes to Floyd's claim to be the best ever, this is how I feel. I think Floyd is arguably the most gifted, talented fighter ever. I think when people say that he is the best ever, I think they should say that he is the most talented ever. Okay? Because when it's talent, when we're talking talent, it's more opinion-based. It's like more like, if I, pound for pound, what I see Floyd do in the ring is better than what Ali does in the ring or Ray Robinson done in the ring. when we're comparing resumes, I don't think we can really make that comparison. It's just like Floyd, the level of opposition that he's for are good, but they're just not on a level as a Ray Robinson or Ali. As far as talent, yes, I think Floyd is up there. Okay, but as far as resumes is concerned, I just don't. I really don't. I mean, not trying to take nothing away from Floyd's resume. Is that those guys were in a different time. You know, things were different. You know, you didn't have as many weight classes. You know, you had to go up 2 divisions. Then, you know, if Robinson beat Maxim, would this even be a debate? You know, if or you know Ali. I mean, Ali did what he did, and he had his losses as well. But it's just it was a different time, you know, and boxing has evolved since then. It's a different culture nowadays. You got all these catch weights. You have these catch weights now where it's almost at a point where they might as well make other divisions in between the divisions again, because you got the 143-pound division, you got the 152-pound division, you got the 156, 157-pound division. You know, you got Chavez, guys like Chavez, he's blaming the loss on a couple pounds. The fight was already at a catch weight, and he's saying that he could beat him if the catch weight was even 2 pounds less than that. You know, we're in a different time, you know, and Floyd is a part of that time. He's a part of this catch weight time. You know, some of his biggest fights were at catch weights. So it's just not fair to compare. I don't like comparing eras. If you have opinion on who is the most talented, you know, I tend to like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones as far as talent and just their athleticism. Is like, you know, I just think they're on another level compared to everybody when they were in their prime. But it's fair. That's just an opinion, you know. I'm not trying to say Tyson is better than every other fighter. Obviously, he doesn't have the resume to compete with Ali's resume. But I can sit here and say, well, if they ever fought in each other's prime, if you took Ali, the Ali that fought Liston, and took Tyson from the late 80s, early 90s, and you put them in a ring together, I can say I think Mike Tyson will win the fight. But, you know, that's a fair argument. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with having those type of debates. But when you're talking resumes, it's like, you know, Floyd's answer to why he thinks he's the best is because Ali lost to a guy with 7 fights. You know, I think that's a flawed argument, you know, because this is the problem now. Like, losing and having a loss is a big deal. Floyd kind of had played a part in creating that, you know, being undefeated, you know. We got guys like Danny Garcia, how they're promoting him, where he's defending, instead of defending his title, he's defending his undefeated record, which is ridiculous. You know, and this is why I didn't go to the fight. I love the fight. I love the matchup, but these guys should be fighting for their titles. You know, this era today, we got stuff like this happening. It should be a unification match. You know, you got 2 of the top champs in the same division fighting each other, and neither one of them is defending their title. Because of the catch weight. And, you know, they're promoting a fight where Danny Garcia is defending his undefeated record. So what is Lamont Peterson defending? You know, nothing. Nothing. You know, if he loses, he's lost before, so it's not a big deal. I didn't think he lost the fight. But anyway, this is what I'm saying here. These are just examples that I'm giving. I think people just need to stick with the whole talent thing. You know, because a talent, you could go, there's nothing wrong with that debate. But when it comes to resumes and resumes, you got to look at, it's so many tangibles, because of the conditions that they were fighting in back then were totally different. The amount of fights that they were having then were totally different than what they're doing today. You know, Floyd fights twice a year, and, you know, if he has a problem with his opponent's gloves, they can have him switch. You know, they could do these catch weights, and they could fight into whoever the star boxer is, whoever's generating the most money, whoever is the A side of the match can make all these kind of different rules and stuff that they want in a match. Whereas back then, it was just totally different. You didn't have all of these options. The guy, they just got it on. That's it. It stuck to standard rules. So um, that's how I feel on that topic. Okay, there's nothing wrong with Floyd thinking he is the best ever. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. Uh, he plays the villain role well. He's not as extreme as he was back when he fought De La Hoya, but he plays it well, and it works for him because people are paying to see him hopefully lose. All right, people want to go and pay. These tickets are going to be $50,000, $100,000. Some of these tickets, and people are paying hopefully to see him lose. Even if they want Floyd to win, they want to be there just in case something crazy happens. All right, so I just wanted to speak on it and give you my thoughts on the whole Ali thing. I really don't want to talk about it. This will be the last time I talk about it. I don't want to sit here and break down resumes and all that. No, they fought under different conditions at different eras, different times. Boxing has evolved since then. It's changed into something else. It's just not the same sport. I'm not even trying to say that this division is better than this division or nothing, or this era is better than this era. It's just that it's different. It's just different. Same thing with basketball. When people compare Jordan and LeBron, you have the argument, well, when Jordan was playing, it was a lot more physical back then. It was a lot more physical. And people say the same about boxing. LeBron is playing a sport where, the refs and everything is a foul, and you got these guys flopping today. It's different eras and it's different times. The sports evolve. Same thing with football. Don't even get me started with football. We see what happens in football now. It's pretty much two-hand touch in football nowadays. It's different times. It's hard to really compare the greats from one era to this era because it was different conditions, okay? And it's going to still evolve, okay? We seeing it now. Catch weights is a norm now, in almost every major fight. So that's my thoughts on that, man. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit me up, leave comments.